Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today, and today we're talking about Bitcoin. Guys, is Bitcoin going to be the new digital currency? Is this what we're going to need in the future? Look what just happened. El Salvador becomes the first country to approve Bitcoin as a legal tender. So that means you can actually use your Bitcoin to actually pay for services. That is crazy. Imagine this kind of like implements into other countries soon. What do you think would happen, guys? And this is not saying like this is Bitcoin. It's not the government's kind of currency because we know governments can regulate this stuff. But if it's Bitcoin, something that's very anonymous that no one can really touch, handle, print money and do stuff with it, can you imagine that? That means you can protect your money way better than any kind of currency, Canadian, US, UK, because we all know they're printing kind of billions and billions of dollars. So this is a crazy progress. So let's get into this video. So El Salvador becomes the first country to approve Bitcoin as a legal tender. Let's get into it. El Salvador's legislative body passed a law early Wednesday that will make the nation the first world to deem Bitcoin a legal tender. The designation allows Bitcoin's world's largest cryptocurrency by market value to be used to pay taxes. Businesses would also be obligated to accept Bitcoin for payment, though those without ability to process these payments would be exempt, according to the bill. Converting Bitcoin into other currencies will no longer be subject to capital gains tax. So guys, this is huge news. You can pay your taxes, guys. So this is basically like this is the new currency basically in El Salvador. Like, do you guys think other countries are going to be adopting this kind of mindset? The only thing I see kind of being a hiccup in this process is that like Bitcoin is influenced by a lot of stuff that like the government doesn't have access to. Can you say for example, Bitcoin becomes like the legal tender in US. Can you imagine Elon influencing Bitcoin, their price action basically? Like he can send out a tweet and Bitcoin drops like crazy, so your Bitcoin won't be as valuable, so you can't buy as much goods with it. Can you imagine like Elon doing that? Like before you go into like the supermarket to buy something, Elon just says, "Yo, Bitcoin is trash," and the thing just boom. So when you go in to pay your taxes or you're paying your products, your whatever, you're buying a house with Bitcoin, the value is you just devalued it, so it's not going to be worth as much to pay whatever you're trying to purchase. So can you imagine just someone being able to influence that? So like that's what the crazy thing about Bitcoin is, so much volatility, and we see now Bitcoin's at like $34,000 and it was just at like $60,000 what 4 or 5 months ago. So we can see how this can be a huge hiccup in Bitcoin. So, to allow the automatic convertibility of Bitcoin to US dollars, El Salvador's government said it would set up a trust at the Development Bank of El Salvador. The Latin American country, one of the region's poorest, has struggled over the years to manage its finances and had used the US dollar as the official currency in 2001. And guys, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like the American dollar has been losing value like crazy. Can you imagine like what you could buy with a dollar back in like what 1920s, 30s, like till today? And we know the government is printing money even crazier. So what do you think the value of the dollar is going to be even worse and worse and worse? Like people always talk about the devaluing of the dollar by the US government, and people are not trying to hold US currencies anymore. What if they just start getting rid of that? Because it's just losing value. Like other currencies are doing better. Like I think Phil Town talks about the Russian government not buying, not using or buying U.S. U.S. treasuries anymore because they're just devaluing everything. So this is a huge step for this country, and their hope is to get actually more people probably like financially literate and be able to use Bitcoin like if you don't have any financial services, like, and I can see that being like the new thing. So let's see what happens with Bitcoin and whatever it's like the way it's going. So El Salvador's government hoped that use Bitcoin would increase financial inclusion, writing the bill that 70% of the population doesn't have access to traditional financial services. Regulators in developed nations have approached digital currencies with skepticism. By the nature, they provide users with anonymity making them attractive to move around proceeds of illicit activities. And that's an interesting concept too, because guys, we know Bitcoin is the best way to like actually move around your money without like trying to, well, I guess the government now is paying way more attention to Bitcoin and trying to take capital gains tax and taxes and making sure you can't just have proceeds in Bitcoin and you're eluding that from all your assets. So this is going to be maybe another way to illegally buy stuff without actually having that currency. And can you imagine all that currency and all that stuff? You can literally like remember what just happened in the U.S. government? What happened with the Colonial Pipeline, where the people like seized like so much Bitcoin? You can just digitally steal money now without actually having to rob a bank. These get hackers now. So do you think USA would actually go through with that, or they're gonna be more cautious because they don't want Bitcoin to be like the new kind of dollar, and it's unregulated and they can't have a hand in it. So imagine that. So some poor nations have talked about using cryptocurrencies as a way to free themselves from the reliance of the US dollar. That's what I was talking about. The dominant currency in international financial transactions. And that's getting worse and worse. People are getting away from the dollar because they know what's happening with the dollar. And it's getting worse and worse. So we'll see what happens as countries starting to wake up and see what the US government's doing. They're going to just adjust their strategies on why would they hold the US dollar when they're just devaluing it. In 2018, Venezuela launched its own cryptocurrency tied to oil reserves as a way to circumvent punishing sanctions and dwindling supply of US dollars. So guys, this is an interesting article, guys. Can you we're probably going to see like a cashless society soon, maybe like in the next 20 years, maybe 15 years. Like there's a lot of places that already have that type of cashless society, and the government is gonna want to play a role in that. They're not just gonna let cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin or Dogecoin be the currency to take over that role. They're gonna try to implement their own currency. So if they implement their own currency, they can actually adjust it and maneuver the currency how they see fit. So that's gonna be a huge, big challenge for the U.S. government. I don't even think so. The U.S. government might even start seizing Bitcoins from people if they see it as a huge threat to the U.S. To U.S. notes and currency. So guys, tell me what you think about this. Do you see other countries going this way? Like, are other countries going to be forced to go this way now as they see countries kind of implementing Bitcoin as an actual legal tender? Tell me what you guys think. Guys, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Peace.